Hello and welcome to Seismic Cinema. So put your feet up in the stolen cop car, grab your taser, and prepare to work out what the hell happened last night.
We're the two best friends that anyone can have. We're the two best friends that anyone can have. We're the two best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never leave each other. Apart from if we have creative differences and end the podcast.
You got something to tell me?
No, just saying, I could do a spin-off. Anyway, this week on the chaotic show that is Seismic Cinema, we are doing 2009's The Hangover. And we're doing it because, was it last week? The week before? That's how bad my memory is. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
We were on Colin's stag do / bachelor party for the Americans out there. And yeah, it wasn't quite as chaotic as this, but we did have a missing groomsman at a certain point. Groomsman, missing groom, Doug, aka Colin. So, Doug.
I lost my bank card.
You lost your bank card, wrecked your car. No, kidding. So yeah, we sort of do 2009 Hangover. We were hoping to get Daniel on because he was part of the stag party as well, but he couldn't make it tonight. So yeah, 2009's Hangover. Let's begin.
Very nice intro, Paul. So just before we forget, which is very fitting for this episode, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Seismic Cinema, and you can also listen to us or watch us on YouTube, Spotify, Good Pods, Apple Pods, Google Pods, Audible, Amazon Music, and potentially Spotify for podcasters, formerly Anchor. And if you're listening to this and you're enjoying our content, then if you could like us, share us, subscribe us, follow us, it would really help us in growing the channel.
Yeah, and if you can't find us in any of those places, please check the roof.
There's a mattress up there.
No, there's a mattress in the statue down below.
Yes, definitely. Right. Oh, it's up to you now, Paul.
What's me? Oh, the schedule.
You're next.
All right. What was I meant to do again?
What are we watching?
All right, Colin. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. So, Colin, what have you been watching this week? Since this is a wee segment to catch up, like to see what each other's been watching in case you have any recommendations.
I think it's quite a good theme for this episode that we keep forgetting things based on the premise of the film. So,
I'm just up from a nap and I feel like I've been roofied.
Well, I think you should go first just to pile the pressure on you.
Well, true to form, not been watching things in the right order. I have been watching Narcos.
Oh, I started watching that and gave up because you made fun of my pronunciation.
Oh, to be fair, I watched the second last episode in the finale of the first season to start off with. And it was bloody good. So yeah, I would recommend it. Obviously, Pedro Pascal is the man, but he's quite chilled in this. But yeah, I was very intrigued. Escobar is a bad man, a very bad man.
I was enjoying it. I was actually flicking through what I've been watching on different streaming services for ideas for this segment, and I can't really remember why I stopped watching it, but there you
go. Yeah. So highly recommend it. So I watched those 2 episodes, and then I thought I was going to watch the second season with the missus, and then she watched it whilst I was asleep. So I'll need to go watch him at some point. Movie-wise, yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before. I was meant to watch The Hangover, and I couldn't get it on any streaming services anywhere. And I ended up watching.
I offered you my DVD.
You did. This was before I asked. I was watching The Foreigner with Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. I'd been listening to a podcast, and they were talking about Mile 22 and Mark Wahlberg, and then they kept mentioning The Foreigner with Jackie Chan, and I was like, it's something I always see, but I've never really thought about it because Jackie Chan's quite old, and I didn't think he'd be up to much. It was actually really interesting. It was all about it was actually like a British film, but Jackie Chan's here, and something happens to his family, and then he goes on like kind of revenge warpath, and it's all to do with the IRA in Ireland and things like that. And yeah, it was actually really, really interesting, and action was quite good. But you can tell Jackie Chan's got a stunt double for all the acrobatics. You can just see some guy with a terrible wig on.
And what was that on?
That was on Netflix, I think. Then I watched Mando Wednesday there. Bloody good as always. Really enjoying it.
Do you like that I kind of temper your expectations a bit, or would you rather just didn't say anything? Because I like to be prepared if it's subpar, just so I go in with that mindset.
Hell, I've done that to you, haven't I? With Bad Batch and stuff. I'll just be like, this is terrible. Or, no, it's pretty good. Yeah. I don't mind. I like it. If it's positive, I like it. So sometimes I think, like, because you're not too bad. You're like usually quite positive with things, but you know, like when you go online and stuff, and people are just slating it for no reason. I've seen people slating the Ahsoka trailer, saying like the CGI looked bad, and I was like, it looks perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, give it a chance.
Are you going to allude to the fact why you're wearing sunglasses, or just let it sit?
It's sunny in here. I just thought, got the hairstyle of Phil, got the beard of what's his name? Zach Galifianakis. What's his name again?
Alan.
Alan, yeah, got Alan's beard, so I just put sunglasses on like Alan and Baby Carlos.
I've got the life situation of Doug and the profession of Phil.
So you do? Do you rob the kids as well?
No.
For some fake school trips.
He couldn't be any more unlike me if he tried.
I like your T-shirt.
Thank you.
What does it say?
It says Stag Wars episode 2023 Colin's Stag Glasgow, and on the back it says Stag. This Stag.
Yeah, you wore it well when you got lost in Glasgow at 4 a.m.
Always came back. Rallied.
Yep, you're like a homing pigeon. You came back. It was good. Yes. And I know as best man I was meant to look out for you, but I just accepted the fact that you were gone, and I thought you'd be fine.
You're lucky Alien's not listening to this part.
To be fair, like somebody said that you're off to meet Alien, I was like, you know what, that's a perfectly plausible explanation, and I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to bed.
Okay, moving on. What were we talking about? Right, what you were watching?
What are you watching? So, what are you watching?
I've had quite a busy week. Usually, you get more from me when I'm not at work, so naturally, I've got a bit more time. I've wrote abbreviations, but I can't remember what the abbreviations stand for. Okay, so yeah, I've actually been rewatching The Mandalorian because Jordan hadn't been watching it, so we've watched the first 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite enjoying it so far. He says it's not as good as 1 and 2, which I would agree with, but I feel like episode 5, the pirate, and the one that came out last week, I felt they were really good.
Chapter 5, the pirate?
What's no, not chapter 5, episode 5. The one where...
Oh, the new season?
Aye.
All right, okay.
When they go to Navarro and all the Mandalorians are fighting the pirates.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that one and the one we've just watched are the best, or are really good.
Yeah, I would say so. It was hard because, like, at the start, I wasn't really sure what the direction of the show was going to be. It just seemed kind of all over the place. Like, I didn't understand what IG-11 was in it for. Like, what the whole side quest of that was, when all I did was get the other droid from A New Hope. I was like, what was the whole point of trying to get IG-11?
You're stealing content. You're stealing content for next week's segment.
Oh, sorry. Yes. But I'm looking forward to it with the boys from the Moisture Farm Report. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the finale on Wednesday. I think it'll be interesting. I'm still watching Inside Number 9. There was an episode I started watching, I kind of gave up on. It was like a witch trial kind of one. Like every episode's a different cast, a bit like Black Mirror, as I said. But I didn't quite enjoy that one. But I've enjoyed most of the other ones I've watched.
Yeah.
I've also, me and Alien started watching Last of Us. I watched the first couple and then fell out of it. So we've watched the first couple. So hopefully I get through it this time. So I've been watching that. And I've watched a couple of classics featuring Robin Williams this week because I've had a kind of list of films I've always wanted to watch, and I really enjoyed both of these. I'd say Dead Poet Society I enjoyed more overall, but Good Will Hunting was also excellent, starring a young Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, have you just only seen that this week?
Yeah, I watched Dead Poet Society like a few days ago, and I've watched Good Will Hunting over the last couple of days. Trying to find time to watch full films is sometimes challenging, but what I've started doing is just kind of watching it in like half-hour bits sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it means I can get through more films that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed both of them. Robin Williams was just absolutely amazing, like absolute genius.
Good Will Hunting is a good movie, right enough. I hadn't seen it until I think was it Neil? Neil was on. Was he one that recommended it? Neil Boyle.
Possibly, it rings a bell.
I think it was either Neil or Daniel. It was one of the two of them anyway that recommended it, and I went and watched it not long after, and it was like, this is really good.
It was good.
I never understood the see the title, Good Will Hunting. I never realised like the guy was called Will Hunting.
Is it because he was kind of getting headhunted for jobs?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, when I was growing up, like I never really thought about it, and I thought it was something to do with like hunting for goodwill. I don't know. I just never knew what it meant. So it's just like the boy's name is Will Hunting. I was like, oh, that's okay, fine.
Skarsgård's in that as well.
He is very young. Stellan.
Both films have a good cast because Ethan Hawke's in a Dead Poet Society is like when he's like a teenager.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Well, and who else? There's someone else that's in it. It's quite well known. Can't remember. Have you seen Dead Poet Society?
I have not, but I want to see it.
I'd quite like to review that at some point. You up for watching it? It's on Disney Plus.
Is it? Right, okay, yeah, I'll be up for that.
We could do that at some point. I love a film that's got it's a kind of inspirational message and kind of really kind of inspires you to kind of live your best life. And I'd say both of them films did that.
Well, when I watched The Hangover, that inspired me to try to have a nice good stag. See the stag do. If I get a stag do, I want mine to be less, right?
Okay. And that's me finished anyway in terms of what I've been watching. So I've watched a not true to form for me, usually the one that hasn't seen things, but I've ticked off a couple of classics this week, which is good.
No, good stuff here. Library is growing.
Yeah.
So, and when people come up with this, oh, have you seen this? I'd be like, yes, I have.
Well, that's my recommendation for you. So will I try and watch The Thing and we can maybe give each other recommendations every couple of weeks or something?
Yes, please. But you need to come around to my house to watch it because I want to watch it too at the same time. It's one of my. Okay. I'm so sad it went off Netflix. Like it was, I had it downloaded there from Netflix like as a favorite, and I never download films. And yeah, it just went off like one day, and I was like,
I think it's on Amazon for like £3 something to rent.
Sorry, listeners, we have a Buy Me a Coffee page, so you know, if you want to donate to us watching movies, or give Colin some excellent gear. Of the technical type, then yes, we have a Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Seismic Cinema. Please and thank you.
Anyway, in terms of new segments, we have a new segment. I don't know where that came from, but I quite enjoy doing a wee bit of Wikipedia stalking before we talk about a film or show. So I usually go a bit overboard with pages and pages of notes. So I've written down 6 fun facts about this movie before we get into our review and discussion. You want to hear them?
Yes, sir. Hit me with it. So I like some good knowledge.
The plot was inspired by one of the executive producers' friend disappeared during his stag do and was found in an establishment with a huge bill.
Well, I thought I was going to say it's inspired by like true events, like actual what happened, except for probably running into Mike Tyson.
No, the tagger and that were extra, but yeah, that's where the kind of inspiration came from. Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, and Zach G. Where it said on Wikipedia they were acquaintances before filming, but they actually built up a real friendship during the couple of months they were filming together. So that's quite cool because the characters obviously don't, like, Alan doesn't really know them that well, that sort of thing.
And then they become the wolf pack.
Oh, that was pretty cool. It was the highest, it is the highest grossing R-rated comedy ever in the US.
Ever?
Wow,
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Because I remember when it came out, it was a pretty big deal, and yeah, it was just like everywhere. I think I bought it on DVD. I think Galby bought it on DVD, and we used to just watch it like all the time.
I've got it as well. It's one of those ones I would get from like a night out and just watch it before bed.
Yeah, it's such a, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just like a lad movie, isn't it? It's just like, it's like the in-betweeners. Like, you could just watch it and like, yeah, like I could do this.
It's one of those ones you like. I watched it a couple of days before the stag do, and I watched it again this week. Like, it doesn't really get old. Todd Phillips, the director, he appeared as a character called Mr. Creeps. He was actually in the elevator scene with the baby.
He was in the elevator scene with doing something else.
No, I don't think. Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, he was the one performing some sexual act on some women in the elevator, Colin.
Is that him then, Mr. Creeps?
Mr. Creeps, yeah, with the kind of tracksuit on and the curly hair. I was wondering why he was in it for so random. So he was the director.
Number 5, Ed Helms, the dentist. Ironically, his missing tooth wasn't fake. He had an implant. But he took it out when they were filming. He was born without a certain tooth or something.
Oh, interesting. I was wondering because I was like, it looks too good to be like CGI or something. So like, he must have just had a missing tooth there. And I was like, did he get cast because he had a missing tooth? Or was it just like part of his thing, like, oh yeah, I read the script and this part is perfect for me.
And the last one, I meant to go for 5, but I thought this one was quite good. I think Todd Phillips is a bit eccentric. He wanted to use a real taser on the actors, but the actors' lawyers got involved and said that wasn't happening.
Oh, that'd be some proper method acting.
Yeah. So there you go. There's my 6 top facts about The Hangover.
It's pretty good facts, right enough, because just imagine getting tasered for real, just for your art. No, thank you.
Those people getting shot by a paintball.
Especially if you're getting shot in the balls in the taser, or shot in the head by the taser. No, definitely not. Good. They must have good lawyers. The lawyers must have talked some good sense into them.
Oh well, they did. Must have had a Harvey Specter on speed dial.
Retainer.
Right, so that's us ready to go into the main review. It's the clipboard.
Nice. Love it.
Right, so I always like, we did it with Hot Fuzz as well. I always like to hear, because I think to us, a lot of people that listen to us, like movies and TV shows, it's a big part of your life and memories of different parts of your life. So I always like to find out people's backstory with the film and the franchise as well, and kind of when they remember seeing it, like their kind of feelings towards it.
Yeah, so this came out like 2009, so this was like the year after we left school.
No,
no,
the year we left school.
Is it? Well, yours Hoodie says 2008. Well, it did say 2008, I'm sure. Did the year before you?
We left in 2009, Paul. If you add 18 years on to 1991, that comes to 2009.
Well, it was the year we left school then. Obviously, my weekly yours Hoodie must be wrong. I must have got the old stock. Yeah, so when we left school, I don't know, I remember seeing it like advertising. I used to watch like these Sky movies, and you'd get these kind of top 10 shows where it's like the things up and coming. And this was one that I was like, that seems like a pretty good laugh. And I think I seen that at the cinema. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what life could be. Like, drinking, oh, this would be great. Have a parties like this. Like, these all kind of came out at the same similar time. Like this, what was it? Like 21 and Over, Superbad, like all these just kind of mental party kind of movies. And I was like, yeah, this life seems intriguing. But obviously, I'm quite quiet and reserved, and I can't be bored with all that kind of nonsense. So, but it was amazing. Just yeah, and it's just one of these things I used to watch all the time on DVD. Like, used to go down to Galby's and watch it. Then his mum and dad were like, "Yeah, do you want to watch this? I will put it on." I went up to mum and dad's. They want to put it on. Yeah.
It's just one of those kind of universally loved films. Like, Alien loves it as well.
2 seconds, you need to carry because my dog's scratching at the door for some reason.
Well, my history with the film, I don't remember if I saw it in cinema. I've got it on DVD. That's where I've been watching it. And it is just one of those films that I quite happily watch at least once a year, or just if you're wanting a wee cheap laugh. And it's one of those kind of cozy films that you're just always happy to watch. And I'm running out of things to say. So those that are listening, what's your views on the film? Did you enjoy it? What's your early memories of it? I really hope Paul's going to be back quite soon because I'm running out of things to say. He's coming back now, just like Doug at the end of the movie.
Was that weird talking to yourself?
I tried my best. I was talking about how much I liked the film. It's quite a cozy film. It's one that makes you feel nice and happy inside.
Yeah, you don't need to do too much thinking about it. You don't need to think about the logic behind it. You just need to accept that things happened. They don't even know how to explain it. Because it's quite a funny film too. Because like apart from the end credits, you ever not actually know what happened. You never see what happened during the night.
Yeah,
it's all just wee snippets, which is a really interesting way to do it.
It's like a mystery essentially. They're just trying to like piece everything. It was quite unique structure for its time, like trying to like piece back together what happened. I don't think there'd ever really been anything done like that I'd seen.
No, exactly. Same with me. It's just because it starts off, doesn't it, with Phil phoning the bride and be like, Tracy, we fucked up. And it's like, what's happened? And then like you carry that kind of all the way through the whole film. And then you see the start of the night, don't see anything at all of the night, and then you're seeing them piecing it back together, and it was a crazy way to do it, but so enjoyable, like them just finding wee daft clues and things.
It's a very quotable film. Like, see, when I was going through it, I was actually like, yeah, I used that quote. Oh, I used that one. There was like 5 times there was quotes I just use in everyday life.
Like what? Examples?
Like, we don't remember, or it's kind of paraphrase, but I actually think I misremembered it slightly. But anyway, that's one that I do use quite a lot, and I don't know. I can't remember specific ones, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, I know. I say things as well. Like, see, like I hate Godzilla. I hate him too. I say that all the time to people. That's like my favorite thing to say to people.
I know it is a very culturally significant film. Like as I said earlier, like you struggle to find somebody that dislikes it.
Scarlett.
Do you not like it?
No, she hates Hot Fuzz and this. I was like, "Do you want to watch this with me?" And she's like, "No."
Well, anyway, let's focus on some of the things that we like about it. So, something that comes to mind quite quickly is I wouldn't call it a score per se, but just the choice of songs that they have throughout the film. And a lot of the songs are sung by the actors during the film as well.
Are they? Oh, I thought just the one with Stu.
Stu does the Tiger song, which I was going to sing, but I'll spare our listeners.
Oh, go for it! Come on, it'll be funny. Go for it.
I'll do it later. I'll do it when I'm ready. What
dude.
do tigers dream of when they take a little tiger snooze? Did they dream of mauling zebras? Or who's it? Halle Berry in a Catwoman suit. Is that
You
the
tell
line?
me, man. You're the one singing it. Give us some gusto.
And then we'll find a best friend dog, and then we'll give him a best friend dog. Dog, 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 doggy dog, doggy dog, dog. I tried.
I like it. That was pretty good. You know, you done well under the pressure. I'll give
I
you that.
absolutely love and I've added like 5 of these songs to the wedding playlist, by the way, including "Right Round" by, is it Flow Rider?
Oh yeah, that's like see when I think of this movie, that's the song I think of. That's the quintessential Hangover song for the end credits.
And when I went to Berlin with Gary and other Paul, for some reason, the Phil Collins song, I was just singing that the whole holiday.
I can feel it coming.
And me and Gary were still out at this club in Berlin, and it came on. Do you know how that you've been listening to a song constantly, and then you're out and it comes on? So that was quite a good memory. The one I really love is the kind of cover of a Candy Shop by 50 Cent at the end.
Oh yeah, sing that.
No.
I take you to the candy shop. My favourite is The Joker and the Thief by, I think it's Wolfmother. You know the one when he's going into the casino? And there's I don't know, it's the guitar, it's like dun, 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 dun. And he's like going down the escalator to win the money, the 80 grand.
Okay.
I like that song because they play it at the hockey all the time, in the Glasgow Clan at Braehead. They play that as the entrance music and that all the time. It's really good. Really gets the people going.
And I like the "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Reminds me of the Rugrats movie back in the day.
1 or 2. No,
The one
was
with
it 2?
Paris, because I remember I always get reminded of this. I think my sister liked this song, and we went to the Rugrats movie in the cinema, and it came on, and apparently I was just a wee kid like nudging Claire, like, Claire, your song's on, and she was just getting annoyed at me.
Bonus point for who sings it.
Can't remember.
Aha Boys.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's just off the top of my head, but I think it's a really good playlist to have on a movie anyway.
Yeah. What do you think of the actual like clues themselves? Like it's so like everything was just so chaotic. You're expecting like just it keeps ramping up. Like you know, when you're just waiting on a car and a police car turns up. Like no way. Like what the hell?
I still think the best bit's when Alan's in the bathroom taking a leak, and then he just looks to his right and sees the tagger.
Oh yeah, and then he thinks he's like hallucinating or something, so he just like turns back to the pee, and then he's like, "Oh no!"
He's what do you make of Alan? Like he's pretty chaotic, but he's got quite a kind of heart, really. Like, well,
I don't know. I feel like he has questionable activities with children.
Yeah.
It does seem to allude to that quite a few times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That he stole a baby from a coffee. No, did he? He found a baby in the coffee bean, and he wasn't allowed within 200 feet of a school.
Yeah, it kind of does allude to that, doesn't it?
Yes. But you know, it might be innocent. It might just be misunderstanding. But he is quite childlike. He is very childlike. So
he's funny.
Maybe he can get away with it.
Some of his lines he comes out with.
What's your favourite?
Don't know if I can repeat them on air.
But it's such a good introduction to him, isn't it?
There's one about why you're not allowed to do something on an airplane.
Oh yeah. It's frowned upon.
Yes. That's a good line.
What else was that? I just everything like it's such a good introduction to him, like the suit fitting, because it just like shows his character like straight off the bat, like what he's all about.
Yeah. Do you think Doug's character was like I think I've maybe seen the actor in one other thing which I can't remember off the top of my head, but do you think he was intentionally quite dull? Like, do you think he was quite boring, or was he just a normal guy?
I think when he's just worried. Is my camera off? Yeah. I don't know. I think he's just conservative because like he had like his father-in-law's car and stuff, and he didn't want to mess up, and it was so close to the wedding. You know what I mean? So he's a bit kind of don't go too overboard. So I wouldn't say it was too bad, but like
I suppose he did still end up getting lost. So
yeah, and I mean you see the evidence back of like what he was doing. Like he's obviously a bit of a loose cannon when he gets a drink in him.
Yeah,
it's like firing shotguns, and I think he was not walking the tiger at some point, and you know what I mean. So I don't think he's too dull, but
I think we just don't really get to know him that well in the first one.
Yeah, and you get to know him a bit more in the next two, don't you?
Yeah, I can remember the second one quite a bit. But we'll get to that later. But the third one, I don't remember that well. Maybe we fragments of it.
Yeah, me too. Like the second one, I remember just like they kind of lose Doug again, surely, and then like the first thing they do when they have the night is like, "Where's Doug? Where's Doug?" They find Doug. Like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think the kind of camera roll at the end is pretty well done, like pretty extreme as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched the unrated version, and I don't know if it's different. Like, I don't remember seeing anything that was different from the first one, the original. But see the end, like, is Alan doing some questionable things in an elevator in the end credits?
I think he might, because I think I read something about it in the Wikipedia article that Zach G was a bit embarrassed by it all.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the unrated version is like his whole ding dongs it, but I don't know if that is in the original as well. I don't know. I watched it and I was like, this doesn't seem any different to the actual movie. So I don't know. I don't know what I watched.
I think I've only watched the one on the DVD that I've got.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know which
didn't seem much different anyway.
What did you make of the dynamic between Stu and Sheila Sass?
Oh, she's such a bitch, isn't she? Oh, I hated her. It's such a horrible dynamic.
Ironically, I really like the actress now from Suits and Lucifer as well.
Aye, Sheila Zaz. No, like they are good actors and good actresses when they played it like really well. Like you could tell, like Stu was just a downtrodden guy that was just like totally under the thumb, and she was scary as.
It's quite funny.
I would not like to be in the receiving end of that.
It was quite funny seeing his lies and stuff. Like, I can't remember what he said, but they were outside, outside the cop car, and he was like pretending that something else was going on in the background. I can't remember what it was, but
I was not saying there was like a tractor backfiring because they were hitting the cop car with baseball bats.
Just watching.
And he's like, "Is that a baby crying?" He's like, "No, it's not. It's a tractor. No, it's a baby goat. It's a baby goat."
Nah, it was good. I liked the scene at the chapel as well, when they had all the memorabilia with all the pictures of them on it and stuff.
With Eddie.
She was in the person he marries. She was in Scrubs, I think.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's in quite a lot of things. She's in a lot of movies and stuff. Heather Graham,
yeah. I quite like that he was kind of like, we should go out sometime. I liked Stu's character growth, because at the start they're making fun of him, saying you're just a dentist, and then later on in the film he says it too. And then there's a scene in the third one where he's like, "Oh, I'm just a dentist," and I think Phil goes, "No, you're a goddamn doctor." There's a good payoff to that in the third one.
I like the whole kind of running joke as well. How it's like, why can't you have any fun when like Sheila? What is her name in this? Melissa.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's like Melissa pumped a guy in a cruise or something like that.
Not a bartender.
A bellboy or something. They kept saying like different things. He's like, it's a bartender, it's a bartender. And at the end, he says something wrong. And Alan's like, I thought you told me it was a bartender.
And then Melissa says something to Alan at the end, and he's like, no, thank you. Just walks on.
Was it suck my pee-pee?
Something like that, yeah.
That's what he said. But I paraphrased it, so it wasn't too bad for listeners.
So I've got a few questions for you. Well, just one. We've already talked about songs. I think the Candy Shop remix is my favourite, and you liked that one that you mentioned.
Yeah, Joker and the Thief, I'm sure it's called, by Wolfmother. I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
A question for you then.
Yes, sir.
Who's your favourite character in the film?
Favourite character? My favourite character, I would say, is probably Stu. Just because like he is the kind of butt of all the jokes at the start, and then like you're saying, his growth to breaking up Melissa at the end is just like, you know, like in the fist pump moment, like, yes, stand up for yourself, on you go, son. And then kind of gets the party started.
Yeah. I'd probably go Alan just because he's hilarious and just he's probably got some of the most memorable lines. Like, does the real what is it?
Did the real Caesar like live here? And she's like no, and he's like didn't think so.
I didn't put it on the what do you call it? Fun facts, but there was quite an interesting part about the legacy of the Hangover. And apparently in 2013, guests were still asking, did Caesar live here? And do you know if the hotel is pager friendly? Also, Hangover themed slot machines became popular at casinos throughout Las Vegas. And the Las Vegas Visitors Authority received inquiries with people wanting to like recreate some of the scenes with the tagger and things like that.
Did they ever go to the police station like, can we see the taser class?
And there's a Madame Tussauds in Las Vegas has a Hangover themed hotel room in the chapel and a tie-in rooftop cocktail bar.
Oh, very swanky.
Yeah.
I never seen any of that stuff when I was in Vegas.
See, when I flipped over to the Wikipedia tab, could you still see me okay?
Yeah.
Or did I disappear?
Unfortunately.
That's good to know. That means I can do wee bits of research on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah, I never seen any of that stuff when I was in Vegas.
Oh yeah, you've been to Vegas.
I have, and it wasn't that fun. Just people try to sell me random DVDs and CDs in the street. It wasn't that great.
I've got a great tagline for this podcast.
What is that?
Some guys just can't handle seismic cinema.
Yeah, in real reality, everyone can, because we're so tame.
Yeah, well, we've had some good laughs.
Yes, we have. And we always do, and we always will.
Right, let's go. Let's dissect this a wee bit deeper before we finish up. So, I don't know. Is there? Now I've said it. Is there any kind of deeper themes to this? There's friendship, obviously. There's maybe standing up for yourself in relationships. Maybe a theme.
Yeah. Consequences.
Yeah.
Although I feel like there are distinct lack of, like, well, I don't know. That's maybe it makes me feel like you can do anything without anything bad really happening to you. Because like they wrecked that, like Caesar's Palace hotel room, and just like that's fine, that'll be fine. I like how Phil throughout the whole movie, everyone's like, "Oh, where's Doug? Like, we need to find him," and he's just like, "Yeah, he'll be fine. He's just at breakfast, or he'll be at the room, or you know, we'll find him. He's probably out in his car." You know, he keeps like reassuring everyone, and then the longer the film goes on, he's getting more worried, and he's the one that starts panicking and like phoning Tracy and stuff. So I quite like his arc in that. I didn't really think of that until just there.
Yeah. She seems pretty chilled out. His wife, like, she doesn't seem that bothered.
Oh, I know. Like, saying that she did. Yeah. I'd imagine she'd be screaming down the phone if it got to like 5 hours before the wedding and he wasn't there.
I'm glad I did mine a few months in advance.
I know. Took the sensible option.
Yeah.
And if you did disappear, we can easily replace you.
Thanks. We've made it this far without mentioning Ken Jeong.
Leslie Chow.
What do you make of his character?
He was very, very eccentric. Especially when the first time you see him, he's just absolutely bollock naked and jumps out of boot and batters everyone. But yeah, he was really funny. It's like I don't know, is it one of these movies like you probably couldn't get away with saying some of the stuff he says like these days just because of
now you wouldn't be able to. No.
Yeah, so half the stuff.
Do you like his character better in this, or do you like it better in Community?
Probably this. I don't know. Community, he's not in that much. I don't think he
becomes kind of main cast towards the end of the show.
Yeah, well, I've not seen the end right enough, but no, I did like him in this. He's just like a totally weird character. Like you wouldn't think he'd be head of a kind of gang, commanding people. So yeah, I did like him. But in this movie as well, like probably like I hadn't seen any of the cast in anything really except Heather Graham. Probably in anything before. Like I know Bradley Cooper was in stuff, but it was like kind of supporting roles, and he wasn't really like main focus.
I think he became. This is probably what launched the main three into mainstream.
And even like Ken Jeong, like I hadn't seen him in anything before this, and he kind of kicked on from this. Oh, in my eyes, and then Ed Helms, like he was in loads of things like The Office USA and things. Zach Galifianakis ended up was in Due Date with Robert Downey Jr. and stuff like that.
You don't hear much from him nowadays.
No, I don't know if he does like shows, like talk shows and stuff, whatever.
Ed Helms is in one of your favourite films,
The Vacation.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's quite a talented actor and quite good at the old singing as well.
Yes. Is there any other? Oh, there's the guy, I can't remember the actor's name, but he's got one of my favourite quotes I just remembered. In the face, in the face.
Oh, yeah. The cop.
He's in 21 Jump Street as well. He's the PE teacher.
Yes, he is. And his name is Rob Riggle, Officer Franklin.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah. Because he's like, not up in here. Not up in here.
Yeah. I just
slide on back, by Jesus.
I don't think there's a lot of. I don't think you can pick a lot of faults in the film. Like, just it is what it is. It doesn't apologize for it, and it's just.
Yeah, there is a wee bit. I don't know. I always find there's a wee bit of a lull. You know, like when they get the baby and they go to the chapel. I don't know. I just feel that wee bit kind of lulls for me. I don't know why. I kind of lose a wee bit of interest in that wee tiny bit. But other than that, I'm hooked for the whole movie.
Did you enjoy seeing Mike Tyson?
I did. And poor Alan, man. Just poor Alan. He just gets the brunt of everything.
Oh, he was the kind of cause of all this.
That's true.
He was kind of missold by other Doug.
Other Doug. Drug dealer Doug.
Yes. Because he comes back. He comes back in the third one and he gets shot, doesn't he?
No, I can't remember the third one really, to be honest.
Remember the swimming pool? They were breaking into like a house, and the other Doug's there, and I think he gets shot dead in the pool.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Yeah, that's it's unfortunate for poor Mike Epps.
Just trying to think if there's anything we've missed. We've covered the characters, the cast, the music, the laughs. There's always something.
What was your favourite gag? Like your favourite like clue, like section? Mine was definitely the police office when they're doing the taser class, and the wee kid that Alan knocks the phone out of his hand. That was my favourite bit when he comes back to haunt him. You just see the intensity in his eyes.
I'm really kind of struggling to remember specific clues at the moment. Remind me of a few.
Like the hospital, the tiger, the baby, Kim Jong.
Whoever find out about the mattress, how it got on the roof?
Oh yeah, because the guys dug up with the mattress so he could sleep on the mattress on the roof.
Right.
They took it up the stairs through
Mhm.
the stairwell, and he just
Or
planted it
maybe
there.
we'll...
It's in the end credits column in the photos. He's like lying on the bed on the roof,
Right, okay.
and then he
I'll
throws it off to
probably
signal someone. That's how they realise he's up there, Colin. That's the kind of main point of the movie.
Yes, missed that bit. I maybe go for the tiger belonged to Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was quite a cool wee cameo, and the introduction with Phil Collins, that was good.
I like hearing Mike Tyson singing the song as well.
Yes. With his very unique voice, his very unique singing voice.
Can you sing that song?
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Do.
Is this our second musical version?
Is. I don't think we're going to get any contracts off this one.
Right. I had a question before we get into the conclusion. Two questions. One, have you seen 2 and 3?
I have. I remember seeing two because it's in Bangkok, isn't it?
Yeah, and 2, do you think they should have just left it at one film, or do you think the sequels were added to the franchise?
To be honest, personally, I think it should just left it this. It was quite good movie, good conclusion, and it was just awesome. It was. I know the second and third one they kind of continued the story and continued the gags, and then they try to ramp it up to like 1,000. But I don't like it when they try and just over egg the pudding kind of thing, and just keep using the same gags over and over and over, thinking it'll be funny. I would have liked it to have left it with this one. What about you?
I think the fact that the structure to the first one was so unique. I know in the third one they didn't use that formula, but it was just a wee bit of a rehash. I did enjoy the second one, I must admit. I remember quite
Yeah,
enjoying the second one. The third one I found quite forgettable. I've not watched that. I don't know if I saw it again after the first time I saw it. But to answer my original question, I think they probably should have just left it at one overall.
yeah. I'm gonna steal a bit off the top of the radio because they were talking about like IMDb and stuff like that. What do you think a Hangover on IMDb was? Rate score wise?
Percentage?
Yeah, no, it's out of 10, and it's decimals.
9.5?
9.5 out of 10.
No?
That's like reserved for like the all time classic movies.
No, but in fact, we always on our channel, we always rate films for what they are.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't pretending to be Good Will Hunting. This is just The
Yeah.
Hangover.
Well, it was 7.7. And then do you think what do you think the scores go from there on? Like 2 and 3, what do you think they are? So 7.7 is number one.
I think 2 is maybe 60%. No, not sorry. 2's 5.5.
6.5.
And 3, I'd say 5.
5.8.
Those 2 and 3 are a bit generous, and 1's a bit really harsh.
Yeah, I know. It's probably just at the time it was.
I don't think you can rate films on a scale like that. Like, if you look at the Super Mario movie, that's a totally different. That film has a totally different aim versus like
The Hangover.
Thing. I mean,
Yeah, I know. But just in The Hangover in isolation, it's a bit of a sliding scale downwards that it starts off good and then gets worse as it goes along. So
just like
maybe
us.
yeah. Episode 1 was a banger.
Right, so I think we should do our seismic score out of 10.
Yes, sir.
Right, we'll do it. Let's think about it for a second.
Right, I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to throw it there. I'm going to put a 9.
I was going to go 9 too.
Oh yeah, because like had Hot Fuzz at 10 last week, and this one's a 9. I was saying that wee lull just at the chapel kind of bit. I don't know why it just gets me every time. I just lose interest. So I'm just going to drop you a point because like Hot Fuzz has me hooked from start to finish, whereas this has that wee kind of lull for me. And yeah, that was it. But other than that, I just love it. Like, you know, you're just looking at the hotel room, you're just seeing like random things in the background that have been placed, and it's like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I just love this film. So 9 out of 10 for me.
If you were forced to go watch it right now, would you be sad? Like
No.
right after this?
No.
I had a different lull. I think the bit where I think when Mr. Chow appears, or either that bit or the Mike Tyson bit, I feel like that's my lulls. They're not obviously bad part. Like, there's no real bad parts in the film. I don't know. Sometimes just when you're watching a film, you might be getting tired at a certain point, or just get distracted by your phone or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, definitely glad I went back and watched it anyway. It's something I'd not seen in ages, and yeah, it was so good. The gags are so good. The just even like Alan's wee random like wee one-liners where he's just like asking when Haley's Comet is, and they're just like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like,
Yeah.
it's just like so random, but and it never ever leads to anything. It's just Alan's mind working.
Yeah, it's quite nice watching films when like the dialogue doesn't all like we talked about Hot Fuzz, everything links together, and that's great for an Edgar Wright film. But I quite like when characters just have general conversations. Like when I was watching Good Will Hunting, Will and his pals would just be talking nonsense, and I still enjoyed it. Like everything doesn't always have to link back to the plot of the film. Like people do have conversations when they're out and about.
Yeah. Right.
Right, have you got any pod shout outs for this week?
So yeah, the What's the Script boys, as always, knocked out of the park. They did Hot Tub Time Machine, and it's they just go through it, and it was just so funny. Like when they dissect the film, they just go through like an individual jokes in it. It's so good. I want to go watch it again because I miss it.
I watched the introduction, but I haven't actually got into the film part yet.
Yeah, the Great Buffalo.
I'd like to have reviewed that actually.
Yeah. Moshe Farm Report. They did one from Star Wars Celebration Live, and it was really good.
I'm
They
sorry.
sounded like they had an absolute ball of a time.
Also, I found out you got to see that latest Mando episode live at the celebration.
Oh, did you? Dirty. Last night a new one. It was Earth and Island from movies. And they did Mile 22, which is like a Mark Wahlberg action film. It wasn't very good, Mark Wahlberg action film, but they just did like loads of impressions of Mark Wahlberg being like a wee whiny baby, and it's so funny. So that was kind of one of the newer ones I watched, listened to. I've got a fair wee scatter for PK's picks on Saturday.
Very nice. So we're trying to get better at remembering to do these things. So we'd really appreciate if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, if you could subscribe on YouTube, and do you follow on Spotify? Yeah. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I almost made it through a whole promo post without making a mistake, but I'd posted Google Podcasts and then the link to Apple Podcasts. So I corrected that.
Sorry, I'm sure nobody will click it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So people could like and subscribe and share and comment and all that good stuff. We do enjoy collaborating. If anyone wants to come on with us or have us on your show, then we'd be keen to do that. So we've recently done, last 2 podcasts was a Hot Fuzz review with What's the Script, and we also had the author Jeff Menapace on for an interview about his series Bad Games, which we just released. So make sure you check that out. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he was. I really enjoyed that one actually. I was listening back to it today, and Jeffy boy is he's actually a really sound character.
It's quite interesting reading the second book now that I've actually like met the guy and spoke to him. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty cool. And Yeah, next weekend, we are looking to do a combination review of Bad Batch Season 2 and Mandalorian Season 3, along with our friends at Moisture Farm Report.
Yeah, James and Adam, looking forward to it. Had fun last time when they were doing the Andor episode with us, so yeah, looking forward to this one again.
And we should have a review of the Thing and a Dead Poet Society coming up maybe in the future as well.
Yes, excellent.
Cool. Well, thank you for listening to our review of The Hangover. It was nice to link that in with my own stag do and discuss a film which has provided us with many laughs over the years.
Yes. And what's our tagline, Colin?
Our tagline is the power of finding a tagger in your bedroom and stealing a cop car and a baby.
I'll accept that. Yes, that is our tagline. So please and thank you. Enjoy.
It's also the power of escapism. So we hope you've enjoyed escaping with us for the last 55 minutes.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Cheers.